The rivalry is back on.
Now, it was reported today by Jim Trotter of NFL.com that the Colts could be, quote, the most likely landing spot for free agent safety Eric Berry. And, I mean, kind of looking at it, it makes sense. I mean, you got obviously the Chris Ballard connection when he was in Kansas City. He was there when Berry was there. And then the Colts obviously bringing Justin Houston last year in free agency. So there are some dots to connect. But I just kind of wanted to talk about my potential pros and potential cons of potentially bringing in Eric Berry to play safety for the Colts. So starting first with my pros, I think veteran leadership is definitely something that Berry can provide. I mean, he's 31 years old. He's been in the league a decade now, and so that was something that Colts GM Chris Ballard really talked about last year for the reason why he felt like the Colts kind of slid and really had a terrible second half of the season. It was because of the lack of veteran leadership. He called friction. So basically guys holding other guys accountable. And so Berry would definitely be a kind of guy, a veteran leader, that would potentially be good for the Colts defense. And so another pro that I have is just more depth at the safety position. It's probably looking like the Colts aren't going to bring back Clayton Geathers after he was beat out by fourth-round pick Corey Willis last year. And so it makes sense to bring him in as a third safety. And the Colts used three safeties in their nickel package last year in their defense. And so it would make sense there. And also, you know, you have some durability issues with Malik Hooker. I mean, he hasn't played in 16 games yet. He's been nicked up a couple games at least each year. And so it would just be good depth behind those two safeties, Corey Willis and Malik Hooker. If one of them were to go down for a few games or for, you know, extended period of time, Berry could step in there and he could provide some good play. So that's kind of some of the pros. Now, some of the cons, there are some cons here. Berry, of course, age. Berry is 31 years old, coming off a major injury in 2017. So this is kind of what happened for Berry. He missed all of 2017. He suffered a season-ending injury, torn Achilles in 2017, which forced him to miss the season. And so it kind of bled over to the next year when Berry's 2018 season was kind of cut short because of heel complications. And then 2019, he sat out the entire season trying to fully recover and get his body right. And so that would just be something that the Colts would have to be very wary of. And, just knowing that he's not probably going to be a 16-game starter, he'd probably be put on a pitch count, especially considering that major injury that he's coming off of and his age. He really hasn't played much meaningful snaps in the last 3 years because of all this stuff. And so that's something the Colts are going to have to consider. But, he does bring a lot of leadership and toughness, which I know the Colts felt like they were lacking last year. And so I don't know. I could kind of go both ways with Berry. I would not be upset if the Colts brought Berry in. I really, I don't know if he would want to come to Indianapolis, not being able to probably start. I mean, you got Malik Hooker, and you got Corey Willis there, your starting safety, so he'd probably be the number 3 safety in that safety group. And so I don't know if he wants to do that. Maybe it's something where he just wants to come in and prove that he can provide some veteran leadership. Maybe he's kind of at that point in his career where he realizes he's probably not going to get a starting gig, or it's going to be a little bit harder, especially considering the injuries. So, I could see both ways. But I think that definitely, the potential there is something where you could bring him in on a 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it deal, see if he can stay healthy with limited snaps, and just see if he can provide you some veteran leadership. That's kind of my take on Eric Berry. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. What you guys think the Colts should bring in Berry? You think they should sign Berry to that safety group to kind of provide some veteran leadership? What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Make sure to leave those in the comments. I guess if I had to be choosing, I would probably say yes, simply because I think that he just provides a lot of veteran leadership that you really are lacking there, especially the safety group. It's a young group, and so adding Barry would definitely be a good thing if he's playing as that third safety, and can kind of help you out in case an injury would arise or what have you, or can kind of play on a pitch count. But that's just my take on it. What's your guys' take? I'd love to hear you guys' comments on if you think Barry would be a good fit with the Colts.